Okay, welcome to Outlaw Woodworking. Today we're going to check our dimensions and I'm going to show you how to do a keyhole slot. So I made some signs recently that are 16 inches wide by 5.494 height and they're 3/4 inch thick. We're going to go from the material surface. Now we need to use an offset, and this offset is, let me get my calculator. It's a negative offset, 0.3125 divided by 2 equals. So we need to have a negative 0.15625 on the x, and then we need the same thing, a negative 0.15625. Now, for whatever reason, on my machine, when I use the XYZ, I need to have this offset in there to make sure it's right in the middle of my material. I don't know why I have to do that, but I have learned that a lot of the things that I've drawn hasn't gone right in the center of the material like it's supposed to. So the first thing we got to do is draw a line in the center of the machine, or the center of our material. So we have our snap on. We'll just go ahead and put this line here. Now that's the center. Now the way I want the keyhole to be, I want the keyhole to be, we'll go 0.5 there. So we're going to create a circle. And you see how the center's here, but I got my circle over here. That's because I want, when you hang it on the wall, you're going to put the screw through, or nail through here, and then you'll slide it to level it. So we'll go across there. So we'll go ahead and close that. We'll highlight that circle, and we'll go up here to Gadgets, and right down here, Keyhole Toolpath. And length of the slot, I want it to be 3 inches. And all the rest can stay the same. We're going to go right to left and hit OK. And there's our slot. So now we can get rid of this line right here. And we'll go ahead and preview this. Go over to our toolpaths and preview selected toolpath. Now that did not do like it's supposed to, although it should go down and make a slot. Reset preview, preview visible toolpath. Yeah, so it's not showing how it's being done, but we're going to go ahead and give it a try. So I'm going to save this over to the computer, and I'll see you over at the machine. The first thing I do is lock down my material. I'm using some Rockler T-track clamps, and that seems to hold it pretty good. And I'll show you a picture of those clamps right here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm basically going to home the machine and install the keyhole bit, part number 3050 by Whiteside. And I'll show you a picture of that right here. This is the first time using the keyhole bit. I have been using different types of hanging. I used the wire method, and then I used these little, I wouldn't say they're brass, they're kind of a little metal clip thing for hanging pictures and stuff. But I've watched quite a few guys do this keyhole process, and it seems like this would be the ideal situation because you wouldn't have to buy any special screws or parts or anything. You just put if it's a small sign like this one, you could just put one keyhole slot. If it was a bigger one, I would put two, one on each side. But yeah, this seems to be the way to go for the future for me, I think. It'll be a lot easier. I won't have to order anything. Just make sure I have a good keyhole bit and off to the races. Right here you can see the machine is homing itself. And once that's done, I'll install this new bit. Whiteside has been a good company. I did have 2 bits break, and I recently called them and explained to them, how they broke and sent them a picture, and they said they're sending me 2 brand new ones. So That's a company I can trust. If they stand behind their product, that's a good thing. Whenever I change a bit, I always check the collet. If sawdust gets in between the little collet inside the little grooves, it won't allow it to tighten down properly on your router bit. So I always kind of check those and clean them out. I've got a little ruler that fits right in, and if there is any sawdust in there, I can stick this little ruler in there. It's kind of like a feeler gauge, and it cleans it out. Anyway, right here I install that keyhole bit and get her all tightened down. I then go through the procedure of the XYZ, Z being the downward from the spindle. You always got to make sure you check the diameter of the bit when you're doing the XYZ and enter that dimension. In this case, it's a 3/8 diameter. And it cuts 7/16 cutting length. 1.5 inch overall length. Once it does the Z, then you do the Y. Then you do the X. And you always want to make sure and twist the bit so that the cutting edge of the bit is facing whichever direction you're doing the XYZ. And here it goes. This is the keyhole bit number 3050, and it's just going to cut a nice little slot right there. That's cool. There you go. What I like about the keyholes is if you put them in the right spot, you could slide it over and be able to level it really easy. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode of Outlaw Woodworking. Please subscribe, like the video, and I will see you next time. Later.